Hello, and welcome to Speak English Time, your calm space to grow your English and grow yourself, step by step.
I'm Ron.
And I'm Emma,
Today we're talking about something very simple.
but surprisingly powerful. It's the skeleton of our lives, the invisible structure that holds everything together.
Yeah, something we all have, but we rarely stop to actually look at.
Our daily routine.
The small things we do every day. Waking up, making tea, walking outside, answering emails. We often think of these as boring, don't we?
We do, but those little moments might seem ordinary, yet they quietly shape our entire day. If the routine is heavy, the day feels heavy. If the routine is light, we feel like we can breathe.
And sometimes even our mood, our focus, and the way we feel about life depends on these tiny habits. Before we dive into the how-to, let's just take a second to arrive here. Let's do a micro check-in.
Before we begin, let's do a small check-in. This isn't about productivity, it's about noticing. This morning, I noticed something tiny. I was making tea, and the sunlight came through my kitchen window, and for a moment, everything felt very calm. I watched the steam rise from the cup. It was just 10 seconds, Ron, but it changed my heart.
No rush, no noise, just warm light and a quiet morning. I think we miss those moments because we're always looking at our phones or thinking about the next task.
Exactly. And I thought, if I can find peace in a cup of tea, maybe the rest of the day doesn't have to be so scary.
I love that. For me, it happened on my way here. I saw a man helping an elderly woman cross the street. No one asked him to do it. He just noticed she needed help. He didn't look at his watch. He just gave her his time.
That's lovely. It reminds us that we are part of a bigger world, right?
It really does. It reminded me that even small actions can make a day feel better. And that's really what a routine is, a collection of small actions. But sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we feel a bit lost in the noise.
Now, let me ask you, the person listening to us right now, have you been feeling a little tired lately?
Maybe your days feel busy or rushed or repetitive, like you're running on a treadmill but not actually going anywhere.
Maybe you wake up, go to work or school, come home, and suddenly the day is gone. You look at the clock and wonder, where did the time go?
Yeah, sometimes our routine feels like a machine. Wake up, work, sleep, repeat. It can feel a bit cold, can't it? Like we're just robots following a program.
But a routine doesn't have to feel like a machine, Ron. It doesn't have to be a cage.
You're right. A routine can actually be like a rhythm, like music. In music, you have the beat. It stays the same, but the melody can change.
I love that. When the rhythm is calm and balanced, the day feels easier. You aren't fighting the clock, you're moving with it. And today's conversation is perfect if your English level is B1, because we'll talk slowly, clearly, and naturally. We want you to feel the rhythm of the language, too.
Before we get into the details of Emma's day, we'd love to hear from you. We aren't just voices in a recording, we are a community.
Think about your day for a moment. Don't think about the big goals like buying a house or getting a promotion. Think smaller.
What is one small habit you want to improve this week? Maybe it's not even a task. Maybe it's just a feeling.
Maybe waking up earlier so you don't have to run to the bus. Maybe drinking more water. Maybe taking a short walk without your phone.
Write in the comments, this week I want to improve my routine by doing something.
We love reading your thoughts, and our community grows stronger when we share. It makes us feel less alone in our busy lives. And speaking of lives, Ron, you asked me earlier about my morning. Should we go back to that first light of the day?
I'd love to. Emma, I'm curious because you always seem so centered. What does your day usually look like? Let's start at the very beginning, when the sun is just coming up. When do you wake up?
I usually wake up around 6:30 in the morning, but here is the secret. I don't jump out of bed.
You don't. I usually hear my alarm and feel like I'm in a race.
I try not to rush immediately. I think the way we leave sleep matters. Instead, I sit quietly for a minute, stretch my arms, and take a few deep breaths. I tell myself, I am here. This is a new day.
That sounds incredibly peaceful. It's like giving yourself a hello before you say hello to the world.
Exactly, because mornings are like the first page of a notebook. If the first page is messy, with ink spills and rushed handwriting, the rest of the day often feels messy too. You spend the whole day trying to fix the mess you started at 7 a.m.
I like that metaphor. So once you finish that first page, what happens next?
I drink a glass of water, and sometimes I write a few lines in my journal. It's not a diary of what I did, it's more about how I feel.
Do you write long essays?
Oh no, just simple thoughts, like what I'm grateful for or what I want the day to feel like. Maybe I just write the word patience.
That's interesting. Do you do that every day, even when you're tired?
Not perfectly. Some days I skip it, but I try to come back to it because journaling is like clearing fog from a window. Your thoughts become easier to see. Without it, I feel a bit blurry.
And after the fog clears, I imagine you need some fuel for the day?
Yes, around 7 a.m., I make breakfast. Usually something simple, toast, eggs, and a warm cup of tea. While eating, I don't check my email. I read a few pages of a book or listen to a short podcast.
So your morning is a no-phone zone.
Mostly, yes. I think mornings should feel like a gentle sunrise, not a loud alarm or a flood of notifications. It's about building a fortress of peace before the work starts. It helps me focus on my work more and stay productive throughout the day.
All right, so breakfast is done, the tea is finished, now the real world starts calling. What happens around 8 a.m.?
That's when I start working. But because I had that quiet morning, I don't feel attacked by my to-do list. I usually prepare lessons, write scripts for our podcast, and answer emails.
So your work is creative. That requires a lot of mental energy, doesn't it?
It does. And that's why I believe productivity isn't about working more, it's about working better. I like working in a calm environment, soft music, a clean desk, and a cup of tea nearby.
That reminds me of something a friend told me once. Work is like gardening. If you care for the environment, if the soil is good and there is light, the ideas grow better. You can't force a flower to bloom.
Exactly. You can't force a good sentence to appear on the page either. And sometimes, if I feel stuck, if the soil feels dry, I take a short break. I stand up, I look out the window.
A lot of people feel guilty taking breaks. They think they're being lazy.
I used to feel that way, but now I know that forcing productivity is like pulling a plant to make it grow faster. It doesn't work, it just breaks the plant.
So you work in waves, a wave of focus, then a wave of rest.
Yes, and that rhythm carries me all the way to midday when the sun is high and it's time to step away from the desk entirely.
So it's lunchtime now, the middle of the day. This is often when people start to feel the afternoon slump, that feeling of being very sleepy. What do you usually eat to keep your energy?
Around 12:30 p.m., I have lunch. I try to keep it light so I don't feel heavy afterward. Usually rice, vegetables, sometimes a salad. But the meal is only half the reset. After eating, I like to take a short walk.
Even if it's raining?
Even then, maybe just for 5 minutes. Walking is one of the simplest ways to reset your mind. It moves the energy from your head down to your feet.
I love that. I find that when I walk, the problems I was worried about at 11 a.m. don't seem so big at 1 p.m.
Yes, because the afternoon can feel heavy. Our energy drops. But a small walk is like pressing a refresh button on a computer. It clears the temporary files.
And after that refresh, do you go straight back into the deep work?
Yes, but the work changes. In the afternoon, Ron and I often record podcast episodes like this one, or I research topics that can help our listeners improve their English. It's more social and collaborative.
Which means, if you're listening right now, Emma might have spent hours preparing this conversation and then used her afternoon energy to bring it to life with me.
Yes, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it because it has a place in the rhythm. It's not chaos, it's part of the plan.
And as the sun starts to go down, the plan starts to change again. The doing stops and the being begins. I simply slow down, take a deep breath before calling my workday to an end.
Okay, the workday is ending. The laptop is closed. What happens around 6 p.m.?
That's when I slow down, truly slow down. I think we need a transition between work Emma and home Emma. Sometimes I read a novel, sometimes I call a friend, sometimes I watch a short documentary.
So the evening is more relaxed. You aren't trying to achieve anything.
Exactly. Because evenings should feel like a soft landing after a long flight. You've been flying all day, dealing with stress and tasks. Your mind needs to land safely.
And dinner? Is that a quiet time too?
Around 8 p.m., I eat dinner with my family. We have a rule: no phones at the table. We talk about our day, share little stories, laugh a bit.
Those conversations are so important. They're the glue of life. They remind us that life isn't only about work or checking things off a list.
They really do. It reminds me that I am a person, not just a worker. And as the night gets deeper, I prepare for sleep. Before bed, I read a few pages of a book or listen to calm music. No bright lights. Then I usually sleep around 10:30 p.m.
So the day ends quietly, just like it started. It's a full circle.
Yes, a calm start and a calm finish. It's not always perfect, Ron. Sometimes things go wrong. But having this routine to come back to, it feels like coming home. I always find myself at peace this way. Now, with that being said, let's dive deep into the Calm Word Tour.
Before we say goodbye, let's take all these ideas and look at the language we used. We'll slow down for our Calm Word Tour. These are words that help you describe your own life.
Routine. Definition: the usual way you organize your daily activities. Example: I follow a morning routine every day to stay calm.
Journal. Definition: a notebook where you write personal thoughts. Example: journaling helps me see my thoughts clearly on paper.
Refresh. Definition: to feel energetic or new again. Example: a short walk in the park refreshed my mind after a long meeting.
Calm. Definition: peaceful, quiet, and relaxed. Example: the morning air was very calm and still.
Productive. Definition: doing useful work or achieving good results. Example: I feel most productive when my desk is clean.
Habit. Something you do regularly, often without thinking. Example: drinking water in the morning is a healthy habit.
Reflect. Definition: to think deeply or carefully about something. Example: at the end of the year, I like to reflect on what I learned.
Mindful. Definition: being fully aware of the present moment. Example: being mindful while eating helps me enjoy my food more.
Okay, if you remember only one thing from today's episode, remember this. Your routine doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like a social media post.
Yeah, it's not a competition. It only needs to support your life, gently, like a good pair of shoes that helps you walk further.
Think of your routine like the rhythm of a song. Not too fast, not too chaotic, just steady enough to guide your day.
And we'd love to hear from you again. Think about that sentence we mentioned earlier.
Finish this sentence in the comments. This week, I will improve my routine by...
Small steps matter. 1 glass of water, 1 page of a book, 1 deep breath.
Thank you for spending this calm moment with us. It's been a pleasure sharing our rhythm with you.
And remember, as you go through your week,
Step by step, your English will grow.
if you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode of Speak English Time. Goodbye for now.
Take care and have a peaceful day. Would you like me to help you write a sample routine in English based on your own schedule?